on the road to Emmaus. Talking and walking, walking and talking, the two men travelled from Jerusalem to Emmaus. It was a lot.
Not 2 men, 3 men.
Well, you just wait. There's 3 men in the picture. So I think it's these 2 here. It was a long journey on foot, and because the 2 men were followers of Jesus, there was plenty to talk about. Like the rumour that some of his friends had seen him alive again. So talking and walking, walking and talking, they made their way. Then a stranger joined them. "I hear you talking. I see you walking," said the stranger. "You sound excited. What are you talking about?" "We're talking about Jesus," said one of the 2 men. And then, talking and walking, Isla, walking and talking, he explained. Jesus was a prophet sent from God. He did amazing things. Many of us thought he was the special one God promised to save us from our enemies. But the religious leaders sentenced him to death. The Romans killed him on a cross, and all our hopes died with him. That was 3 days ago, but this morning, some of the women who knew him went to visit his tomb, and his body wasn't there. Better still, an angel told them that Jesus wasn't dead anymore, that he was alive again. The stranger listened carefully, and then, talking and walking, walking and talking, he told the 2 men what he thought. "You sound surprised," he said. "Isn't that what the prophet said would happen to the special one? If this Jesus died and came back to life again, and surely that shows that he is the special one you've been waiting for." At last, talking and walking, walking and talking, they came to Emmaus. "It's late," said the 2 men to the stranger. "Why don't you stay here with us overnight?" And so, talking and walking, walking and talking and walking, walking and talking, they prepared a simple meal. "Do you mind if I give thanks for the food?" asked the stranger. "Of course not," said the 2 men. So,
Is that one and that one? What's that one?
well, we're about to find out. It's the stranger at the moment, but let's see who it is. So, taking and breaking the bread, the stranger bowed his head and prayed. And that's when the 2 men knew. The stranger, the man on the road, the one they'd been talking and walking with all afternoon, wasn't a stranger at all. He was Jesus, alive again. But before they could say a thing, Jesus disappeared. He simply wasn't there anymore, and they were left alone to wonder. "We need to tell someone about this," they cried. So they hurried back to Jerusalem, not talking, not walking, but running and jumping for joy.
So everybody, welcome. Today we are doing the craft to do with the story we've had at Sunday school, which is about the road to Emmaus and where they meet Jesus. Okay, so we're going to make some flatbreads. It's the kind of bread that they would have had at the time, so unleavened bread, so no yeast in it. So we need to measure out some flour. This is just plain flour. We don't have to use bread flour. It does make better bread, but can't get it at the moment very easily. And we want to make a mixture, so it's going to make a couple for us. So you're going to want to have 50 grams of flour. Now, Isla, you're very good at doing your measuring, aren't you?
Yes.
Are you going to put it in, or is Mummy going to put it in? We're going to do it. So we want 5, 0 is the numbers at the bottom. So we're going to put that there. Excellent. We're going to get 14. This could take a while. Do you want to do another one? That's it.
Yes.
And another one as well. We'll see what we're at to. One more. And another one. And another one. Okay, and our number at the moment is 38. So another one. The little one. That'll do. Oh! Very nearly. At 49. Almost. We have our 50 grams. What's coming? There it is. Can you read that number, Ella? 5, 0. 50.
50.
Yeah. So we have our 50 grams of flour. And that we need to add half of that in mils of water. So 25 mils, which is 5 teaspoons. So we need to measure 5 teaspoons of water into that bowl, Ella. So just count those. 1. And another one.
2.
Oh, we need to again make it full. It's not very full. That's it. 2. And another one.
3.
That's it. Another one. How many? 4. Last one. 5. So we have our 5 teaspoons of water in
I'm
there.
going to mix it.
How do you want to mix it? With our hands. Should we mix it with our hands? Your hands have got pen on them. We did not think this through. Wash your hands before you start this. We also need a little bit of oil. I'm just going to put a splash in to kind of compensate for lower limits. And we need some salt.
Salt.
There we are. I'll get you a spoon to start with. Whilst it's the mucky bit. So, and a pinch of salt. So do you want to take a pinch of salt? So 1 pinch of salt. So this is 50 grams of flour, 25 mils of water, a pinch of salt and a splash of oil. Let's stir it. Just to start. Come on. Isla. How about I start with a stir? Then you get your hands in. Nice and dirty. So you might need to add a bit more water, depending on how ungenerous the water adding was before. There we are. And then we get it to a point where you can start to smoosh it with your hands. I think your teaspoons were a little bit ungenerous. There we go. Ready? Get it all in. That's it.
What about the spoon?
So you know you've got enough water when it starts to clear the bowl. And then we need to get it out. And what do you need to do with it, Anna? You need to mix it with your hands, don't you? So do you want half and I'll have some?
Yes.
There we go. So you have one, I'll have one. So you squidge it between your hands. It should be a little bit gloopy to start with. And then as you start to moosh it around a little bit, it'll get a bit more silky and smooth. And Isla, like Play-Doh, isn't it? You can put a little bit of flour on the top to be able to knead it on the top of the table. Yeah? You like squishing it.
I like squish.
Do you like bread?
Yeah.
Mummies and daddies might be missing, well, and you a little bit, having our bread at church. You know, we go up to the rail and we have our wafer. Yes. That's because bread is very important. It's what we say, it's part of communion. That's where we all remember that we're all part of the same family and how important Jesus was to us. So he died for us. And this story is about after Jesus comes back from the dead, after he's raised from the dead, he meets his friends on the road, doesn't he? And it's only when they break bread with him that they recognise him. It's a very important thing to eat bread with each other. How's your squidging going? Shall I swap? Want to swap with mine? You feel Mummy's quite smooth? Does it feel quite nice? Is it smooth and squidgy? Is it? Yeah. So it goes a bit kind of wet and mushy, and then it will go nice and smooth. You can do this on knead it on surfaces like you would do for bread, but you can squish it in your hands, which is a bit easier for you, isn't it?
And we put bread in on the other or
yes.
in the oven.
Now once you've made it into a dough that you can kind of feel like it's like quite smooth on top, that's when we need to roll it out into our flatbread. Do you want to put yours down?
Mine
You
down.
want to put yours down? I'm used to go for my
Oh,
rolling pin. Here it is. We used this in the
not
day, didn't
yet. Not yet. I have to make it into a big ball.
we? Yours isn't a big ball. There we go. So, you get your rolling pin. You do yours first. And you have to roll it out nice and flat. So you might need a bit more flour as well. Ready? Oh, squish it, squish it, squish it. Whoa. And again. Again. Yeah? Squishy, squish, squish. And when we cook this, we'll do it in a pan. So we've mixed our flour and water together.
How it would go into bread.
Ah. You want to hold that? You want to show the camera? There we go. Yeah, don't put it in your mouth. So we've got our bit of bread. And then what we're going to need to do is cook it. So we've got an Arga, which is a benefit, which means that I can just take a pan. You don't need to put any oil in your pan, so just a plain frying pan. And we're going to put ours in the Arga. And we'll show you how it cooks.
It
Stepping on
looks
sticky
like
bricks.
pancakes. It looks like,
It does look a bit like a pancake, doesn't it?
yeah.
It's not going to look like a pancake by the time we're done. No, no. So basically, put this into our frying pan, and it will cook on each side, and then we'll be able to eat a nice piece of bread together. Should we do that? Right then. So we've cheated. We've already done one. We've moved over to our Arga, and we've got the pan nice and hot. We've turned the light on over the top because you couldn't really see before. It was too bright. So the pan doesn't have anything else in it, and we just put our flatbread in. Can you? Oh, I can hear it sizzling this time. Can you hear it? Making a little bit of sizzling noise. And what happens when you cook it, I'll show you with the one we've done. Go my arm, please, Isla, I didn't drop you. Is that it goes sort of mottled and bubbly. It's really nice, doesn't it? It's still very hot.
It's my favourite.
Is your favourite? It's very good.
I'm just a bit hot.
Yeah, it's hot in front of here. So we'll flip it
And
over.
the back is cold.
Is it?
To make us fresh air, tomates or fresh air.
So, but once you've flipped it over, it'll start to cook on the other side as well. I've done mine a bit too early because I'm impatient because I'm doing it for you guys. But it basically will go this lovely sort of light colour. So it sort of looks like dough in the middle bits. And it goes nice and white, doesn't it, Isla?
Why?
Why? Because it's cooking. We'll be able to eat it soon. Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's better. Look at this one. Oh, and look, it's puffing up. So when it gets really hot, you'll get the air going in the middle and make the big bubbles, doesn't it, Isla? You see the big bubble?
Maybe feel for me.
In a second, darling.
Feel.
In a second, darling.
No. Now, Mommy.
Lovely. Look. You see, it's all puffed up like a pita bread. See here.
See.
There we are. Look at that. Does that look good?
Yes. Say yes to them.
So, we're all finished. Take our bread off then. So don't touch the pan. Ooh. Can we see it's all a bit dark? That's what it looks like. Ha ha ha. Hot, hot, hot. So we have made our bread dough. We have cooked it on our stove. And what do we do next, Isla?
Eat it.
Eat it. That is always what we have to do next. So, should we tear our bread open? So the best way to eat this bread is to share it, isn't it? Do you want to do the piece?
Huh.
Oh, you're having my piece. That's very good sharing, isn't it? Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you're all having a really good Sunday, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.